Can I do it? I don't know if I can do it like you. Oh.
I'll do it. Oh no, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Oh, I got it. Welcome out to the garden, friends. My name's Rachel and you're at that 1870s homestead, and I've got my last of the started summer crops getting ready to plant out. Got lots of peppers, basil, all my squashes and zucchini, and lots of sunflowers. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get done today, but we'll get as much done as we can. And so I think we'll start with the peppers. So I kind of need to remember what I have going through them. So this is a Purple Beauty. Totally not in my original garden plan to grow peppers this year, but you guys are so convincing that I needed to grow peppers. We've got a banana. Just going to try to organize them by all their types. I think this is a banana as well. I obviously missed the labeling one. Cayenne. We'll put a cayenne up front. Let's see. Another Purple Beauty. This one, California Wonder. Another cayenne. California Wonder. Isn't that beautiful? Just gorgeous. We'll talk about topping peppers today while we're out here too. These have been outside hardening off for well over a week now. Another cayenne. No name. Rachel, what did you do? We will suggest that this is a potential something. I don't know. Let's see, what is this one? California Wonder. Another no name. Those must have been last minute replacements. We got lots of rain the last couple days here, but hopefully you guys can see my spacing. They are spaced 1 inch diagonally, or 1 inch, 1 foot, like diagonally from each other. So that's what I'm doing. So in half of a 4x8 raised bed, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pepper plants. So I'm just going to make a little well that my pepper plant can go in. And as mentioned when I was potting these up, when I was growing them inside, and I just took a handful of my all-purpose fertilizer, lots of worms in there, holy cow. And then we're gonna take one of our pepper plants. This has been potted up from growing in the house. And just stick him down in there. And I will bury his soil up, or his stem, just an inch or so. Pepper plants do like that a little bit. They'll have a little root node on their stem where they'll send off more roots. And I've already topped this one. Let me see if I can find one that I haven't topped. And when it comes to topping them, I'll bring you guys back and find a good example of one that I can top for you guys. Okay, this one is a good example of one that I could top and prune a little bit. So I'm just going to come in here and pinch his middle, the new growth out. And that's going to tell him to send energy back down. And then in the elbows, or the crotches of his leaves down here, there's little itty bitty starts that would never shoot out if I didn't come down here and pinch his side growths off. And now that'll tell energy to go whew, and send those off, and it creates basically a new fruiting branch. So I'll do that randomly. Here's one back here. Can you guys see him where the new leaves are shooting out where I've pruned him? And I've pruned his top. This is another example where I took the side shoots off and now the new ones are growing out, and each one of those will become a new fruiting stem. So here's another example. You can take that one off and take this one off, and each one of those will become a new fruiting branch. You don't want to overdo it each time, but you can do this regularly throughout the growing season. I probably do it twice after I plant them out. When I first do it, and then I'll come back in about 4 weeks and see if he needs to be pruned anymore. You can see he's already been topped, which is forcing this explosion of growth down here. And now some people, in case you're reading comments below, some people don't agree with this. They say it doesn't work, I've tried it, blah, blah, blah. All I can tell you is it works wonders for me. So if you have similar growing conditions like I do, I'm in Michigan, zone, not that zones matter for vegetable gardening really, but zone 6A. And I've done this the last 3 years, and I would say easily doubles, triples my harvest of peppers than I would get from not pruning and topping my pepper plants. Random sunflower. I'm telling you guys what, next year it's going to be pretty cool to see what happens. Bed number 2. So in total I am going to have 28 pepper plants. That is a lot for not thinking I was going to grow any peppers, but we'll be happy with it. So these peat pots I do have to pull off. I don't like planting the peat. I'll compost it up with the chickens, but I'd rather take it off so it doesn't restrict the roots at all. Okay, now we are moving on. Come over here to the basil. I got a whole flat, multiple sets per pot for the most part. So I'm just going to divide them, and I'm planting them in between my tomatoes. So this one only has one. Somebody asked me to show how I would prune. I don't have any. I do have some clippers. Hold on just one second. Let me grab them. All right. Somebody asked me to show them how I would properly prune basil. So see that little shoot right here in the crotch? I'm just going to go right above him and trim him off. Take him in the house. And same with this one. Pruning basil is very similar to pruning peppers, actually. You kind of want to, take off the side shoots, and then it'll keep producing bigger and bigger, bushier plants. I really need to get out here and tie up these tomatoes very much. You guys, I already have tomato flowers on some of my tomatoes. Crazy. And while I'm out here, I'll also trim up these bottom leaves on the tomatoes so that the rain quits splashing on them. And that just is a nice way to try your best to prevent blight from growing in your garden. Growing, producing, spreading. Okay, now this is a good example. There is 4 basils in this pot. I'm going to separate those. All right, well, you guys missed this part. I have my loofa gourd and Geet Oka salmon squash to grow up over my trellis with my chairs, but my grandson called, so he was helping me plant over video chat, and we had a lot of fun. And now I have left, I think I don't have much time. It's late, it's past dinner. I need to go in and eat. So I think what I'll get done here the rest of today is just get some zucchinis and cucumbers planted, and we'll wrap up the rest of the pumpkins and sunflowers tomorrow. But yeah, I'm excited to have the garden wrapping up with like the final planting things before we leave for our vacation for a week. So thankful for farm sitters that are around the local area to take care of the animals and water the plants and everything while we're gone. And if you have a farm sitter, don't take them for granted for 1 minute. So first, would you look at this glorious cabbage and broccoli I have growing back here behind me? It is so beautiful. This here was my experiment last year doing straw bale gardening. Once the season was done, I took out what was decomposed, like the straw bales, and tossed that as mulch on garden beds, and then kind of just rake this level and put some extra of the non-broken down straw on top just for mulch. And I'm going to plant 6 zucchini in this space. This is probably 2 foot by 4.5 feet. So we're just gonna do one on each side. And this will be very, very, very thickly planted. Really, you could probably get away with planting 2 in this space and it'd still be very full. All right, guys, I am planting my last batch of all of my cucumbers in the other bed that had been a straw bale garden last year. When we get back from our trip, I will come back through and mulch, or not mulch these, but set up a trellis, like a triangle trellis in between that they can climb up. But yeah, thanks for coming in the garden with me tonight. Happy growing and gardening where you are, and I hope the weather is being cooperative. And if you're still in cold temperatures, don't let this discourage you. It's going to be 90 degrees here tomorrow, and I'm sure it's coming your way.